Hello, everyone from Akasa Living. I want to talk to you today about the fact that your life is your story. You get to write it your way. Why in the world would we write our relationships, any of them, our work, our friendships, certainly our intimate relationships, as power struggles like this, where we're acting on one another's energy, when really life is meant to be in flow? Life is meant to be in flow. We're here to feel good. You see, we're energy. We're here to be in a frequency where we attract in other energies that are in flow state with us. That feels good. It feels effortless. No one is acting upon anyone's energy. Merely, this is how I show up. This is how I show up. We're in flow state. Instead of, this is me, and I want you to be a certain way, and if you're not, well, you've got to become that way and stay. No. If they're not in flow, we let them go. We clear up that energetic bandwidth so that whatever is in flow can move in, and they can go to where they'll be in flow. So everything is harmonious. We don't want to be in any type of relationship where it's a struggle, where we're having to demand our rights, that we be treated a certain way. We know how we want to be treated. We all want to be treated with love and respect, dignity. But what that means to each of us can be very different. You want somebody in flow with you that understands what that means to you, that mirrors that with you. Not that you have to be explaining it to all the time and trying to get it from, because you won't get it that way. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Writing your story, your life, your story, as energy, which has slowed itself down to be expressed in tactility, to have a physical experience, having one that is in flow state and feels good. It doesn't feel like a struggle. Why write yourself a power struggle when you can write yourself this beautiful story that's in flow? Now, if you're on social media, there is a great deal out there about narcissism. I understand that because it can be hard to identify when you're dealing with a narcissist. We get in this loop of, I'm not sure, because they're very good at mirroring with us. They behave in a way that they come in flow state, and then if they love bomb us, if you will, if it's an intimate relationship, and everything seems great, and then they use what they know about us to start hurting us, to get our energy, to get us to react, and then say they're not doing it, gaslight us, and then we end up blowing up and acting like they're accusing us of acting because they've triggered us. And then we look in the mirror and, well, they're right. I am blowing up. Well, they've pushed every button you've got. So they got what they wanted. And then you find yourself thinking you're the problem, which is what they wanted. And then they realize that you're starting to catch on. And so they come back and they mirror again. And it becomes this loop. And so you're not sure, am I the problem or are they the problem? And so that's why there's so much out there about narcissism, is because it can be hard to identify. we actually, in defending ourselves against narcissism, can become narcissistic ourselves in some ways, because we mirror what energy we're around in order to have a defense against it. That is one of the things we have to watch for when we leave a narcissistic relationship, is that we haven't learned narcissistic behaviors as the appropriate response to have, because that is how we learn our behavioral responses. We adapt and adopt the behaviors of those we're around. So if you're around a narcissist for a long period of time, that can become your behavioral pattern too. So we have to watch for those things. We're all quite capable of narcissistic behavior. So the issue is really this loop that we get into of, well, is this narcissism or is it not? Or have I become the narcissist or are they the narcissist? It's about this labeling of it all that we're doing. I'm not negating anyone's experience at all. I've certainly been through it myself. But the issue is not, was that person a narcissist? Did you pick up narcissistic tendencies yourself? Because the truth of the matter is, we're all quite capable of falling into that behavior. Now, thankfully, most of us don't have full-blown narcissism. But regardless, let's step back and just look at it for what it is. As badly as they make us feel and they treat us, it's a loop that we're choosing to stay in. And even debating whether that's what it is or not is a loop. Is it a flow state? Does it feel good? No. There's your answer. You don't have to know if it's narcissism or not narcissism. We don't have to get caught up in these long discussions and drag our energy through over and over and over, trying to understand it all and wrapping our heads around it, et cetera, et cetera. That prolongs the energy of it all. That keeps you stuck there. We don't have to identify everything that's going on, right down to dotting the I's and crossing the T's. We simply have to know, does it feel good or not? No. All right, you have your answer. You're not in flow state. Step out of the loop. The more we use the thinking mind for anything that doesn't feel good, the more we're just staying in the loop. The issue is we're using 3D behaviors when we're in the thinking mind versus 5D behaviors. The issue is we're getting our power from the wrong place. 3D behavioral style is the thinking mind has us believing we can think our way through it. We can rationalize it out somehow. We can make sense of it somehow. Whereas our 5D self understands this is about energy straight up. Where is the energy coming from? Where is it not coming from? And that's what we have to deal with. And the thinking mind is never going to be able to do that, because the thinking mind doesn't control that. Our energetic beingness does. Letting go of the trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas, appropriate self-care. When we get in those thinking mind loops about whatever type of issue we have going on, we automatically want to disconnect from it. It becomes overwhelming. So we distract ourselves. And the issue becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And everything is energy. So energetically, we have a cancer that forms. We have this stuck energy that more energy just keeps attaching itself to, and wherever it's stuck at, our heart space, or wherever it's stuck at in our bodies, it's in our chakra system, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And conventional wisdom will have us, the thinking mind, talk therapy. Is this narcissism? Is it not? All of those things that keep us in the loop. We'll have us come up with coping mechanisms and all of those things. None of those get rid of the energy. None of those redirect the energy. None of those reconnect you or help you recreate yourself in a higher vibrational frequency. None of those take you away from the limiting belief of the disempowerment that you've just experienced and connect you to a more expansive version of yourself that has grown from the experience at a higher vibrational level where you move on. And that is what we should do. That is what we should do with all trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas that we experience. All the societal programming that we experience. All of the blockages and restrictions that are in our chakra system. All of the past life issues. Whether it's narcissism or whatever power struggle it is that we've come across. You see, we don't understand being energy. That's the issue. We're trying to wrap our heads around what is a narcissist anyway. It really doesn't matter. All traumas do the same thing energetically. Whenever we have a trauma, it causes an energetic blockage. That energetic blockage will disconnect us from our power source. Our power source is not the thinking mind or the physical body. It is the energetic being that we are. We are one whole, complete light being that vibrates very fast. The highest vibrational, there goes the lights up, the highest vibrational version of us. That is the highest level of conscious awareness. That vibrates at the frequency, that has the most knowledge, that has emotions, energy in motion it wants to experience. And it wants to use our chakra system to transmit that. And like a kaleidoscope, that white light wants to come down, and the different colors that are in the white light want to emit in different wavelengths and different variations. So it's a certain frequency through our Earth Star chakra, through the crystalline grid that's beneath it, and refract out. So we have a unique experience. That is what we're constantly doing. That's what we're constantly doing. And as this energy comes down, this is our power. This is what fuels us, our very existence. And this also fuels the biofield, or the integrity of our energetic field, of our physicality. This is what keeps us healthy as well. So our health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, and longevity of life all depend upon this chakra system being clear, and us getting this transmission of what it is that we, as one whole complete light being, want to experience in physicality. But we have some sort of trauma happen, and we don't clear that trauma. We live with a narcissist, or the way we became a narcissist even. We have a childhood trauma that happens. And that childhood trauma, maybe we're sexually abused, maybe we're physically abused. And that causes us to feel disempowered. We feel like we have no power. And so we withdraw. We disconnect from ourselves. It hurts to be connected. It hurts to feel what happened. So instead of dealing with it, instead of being real, feeling, dealing, healing, or progressing from it, as we must do with energy, we try disconnecting from it. We try all the coping mechanisms. We try talking about it. We try understanding it. That doesn't work. That just keeps perpetuating it. And that blockage forms. And the power source that is us can no longer send us the highest vibrational signals. So whatever the trauma is, it will lead to us being disconnected from our true energy source. So then we start acting upon one another instead of, this is me, I'm in frequency, I've got my power coming down for my job, for my friendships, for my school relationships, for my intimate relationships, for all my relationships, I'm in frequency. We're no longer our authentic selves. Instead, we need energy from somewhere else. Instead of being our authentic selves and attracting in other authentic people who are doing the same thing, we're disconnected from that. We've got trickles of that coming in. And we're trying to do it from here, from physicality. And physicality is the densest part of us. This part certainly doesn't know. This is the part that's supposed to be expressing it all. It's supposed to have the high vibrational stuff coming down so we have a wonderful experience, and it's all blocked off. So we're down here in density, in loops, just doing what we've done over and over and over and talking about it and saying, well, maybe it's a narcissist, or maybe this happened, or maybe that happened. Again, not negating the experience, but we're just perpetuating it. We're not dealing with what needs to be dealt with. What ends up happening, the narcissist I've already described, they will mirror with you and take your energy. And so they're acting on you. It becomes a power struggle. Another way it happens is, instead of just mirroring with you and taking your energy, perhaps what someone will do is they will give and give and give, but they will only give certain things. And then they hold back other things. And they'll say, well, I don't have to give that in this relationship. Look at all that I do give you. How dare you ask for that from me? But it's the one thing that you do want. And all the other stuff is fluff. The one thing that you do need is the one thing they're withholding. That's power. They've just wrangled you, hurt you, got you to express over and over your pain, pour your pain out, because it doesn't matter. It's energy, it's power. They're not getting it from their source. They need to get it from somewhere. So they're taking yours. And you're obliging because you're caught up in this loop with them and you're not stepping out of it. Again, I'm not blaming you. What I'm saying is, we haven't understood what it means to be energy and how to do this. So we go to therapy, we go to our friends, we go to wherever, and we talk through it and all the stuff. And even when we leave, we don't understand what has happened because we don't talk about it in terms of being energy. Or perhaps it's a situation where we understand that we've felt disempowered our whole lives, and so we give and give and give to feel love, and we keep giving and we keep giving, and We never can give enough to feel all the love we want to feel. And so we end up resenting. So we give and we give and we give, and we just aren't getting what we need. And so we have all this resentment. And so that's a power struggle. That happens too. When we're disconnected from our source because we've been hurt, we look for other ways to get the energy. Whichever variation of it is, we end up with resentment and dysfunctional relationships. And all of them eventually will elicit a response from the other party that mirrors what's happening. So we all end up looking, in the end, we all end up doing the same thing to one another, because that's the only way you can stay in someone's energy. The only way energy stays together is either they're acting on one another or they're in a flow state. So either you're going to mirror what they're doing or you're going to act on each other. You're going to lash out at them, and then they're going to say, "See, told you. See how you act." And you're feeding each other's, you're in a power struggle. And it becomes, well, am I the problem or are they the problem? And no, I know they're the problem. They started it. Their behavior is, and because their behavior is that, when in reality, what relationship is really supposed to be is, this is me. This is how I show up. I'm in frequency. This is me. This is how I show up. Our frequencies match. We're in flow state. That's unconditional love. Neither of you set a condition. What we've been taught is to show up with our list of expectations. This is what I'm expecting in a relationship. This is what I'm expecting. Well, let me see if I can fit that role. Well, you're not fitting it exactly right. Let me see. That's not unconditional. You just listed a bunch of conditions for each other to try to bend like pretzels and fill. That's what conditional love is. Unconditional love is, this is how I show up. This is how I show up. Well, I'll be dadgum. We show up the same. We're in flow state. Now, sometimes, as with the narcissist, they will show up and mirror with you, and then all of a sudden, where's my person? They were there, and now there's all this energetic bandwidth. There's no one there. And then you say something to them, and, well, it's not me, it's you. And they've triggered you with things they know about you that you've shared with them. And the next thing you know, you're looking in the mirror. I'm behaving like a crazy person. Maybe it is me. No. Again, that's what they've wanted, because that's getting energy from you. Step out of the loop. Don't try to figure out who did what to who. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a narcissistic relationship. It doesn't matter if it's just that you're both traumatized. It doesn't matter if one's traumatized and there's a blockage, and so they're disconnected and they're feeding off of your energy, and it doesn't matter. You're not in flow state. It doesn't feel good. So step out of the loop. If it doesn't flow, let it go. The more you try to figure it out, the more you're staying in the thinking mind, the more you're staying in that loop, the more you're trying to get the energy from the densest part of you that doesn't know. The more you're perpetuating the cycle that you've already been in, and you're practicing limited beliefs, and you're not expanding consciousness. You're not growing. You're not becoming more. You're not experiencing life in a new way. Everything that your higher self can see, we could be doing this, we could be doing that, you're not doing any of that. You're repeating the same pattern. And it doesn't matter. We can get locked up for years in, well, I was in with a narcissist. I was in with this person treated me this way. This person believed me. But I have been in these things, so I'm not putting anyone down. Pot calling kettle black here. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So I'm not putting anyone down. All of this has happened because we did not understand we're energy. We're energy. They're behaving the way they are because they're energy, and they've been traumatized, and they didn't know they were energy, and they didn't know what to do about it. It's their level of conscious awareness. And you can talk till the cows come home. But when somebody's in a level of conscious awareness, you cannot change somebody's level of conscious awareness that is acting on their energy. When they are ready to change their level of conscious awareness, they will do so. Now, in a normal relationship, when something comes up, you can have a conversation, or maybe two, behaviors will change. But when it's over and over and over and over, that's not a normal relationship. We're not in flow. This is dysfunctional. It's time to let it go. They're in a level of conscious awareness that they are not going to be in flow with you, at least not at that time. Now, levels of conscious awareness have nothing to do with how smart someone is. Doctors and lawyers have different levels of conscious awareness. They're aware of different things, but one's not smarter than the other. Just what a doctor knows, a lawyer doesn't. What a lawyer knows, the doctor doesn't. Different levels of conscious awareness. It's what frequency are you vibrating in on a given issue. Knowledge is a frequency. They have different frequencies of knowledge. Emotions are frequencies. We're vibrating in a different place emotionally. You want to get your energy from me, and that's not how we get energy. We don't get energy from our relationships. We bring our energy, our frequency to the relationship. We show up as our energy in frequency, and the other person does as well. And then those combined energies creates the relationship dimension, and two energies don't become one or two even. It becomes three. 1 + 1 = 3. It's exponential. You're 3 times as powerful when you're working together because you created another whole dimension. Your dimension, their dimension, now the relationship is a dimension. But not if you come with expectations. You have to come in as a whole complete person. This is me. This is me. And we're in flow state. If you're using that dimension like this to get power from one another, wrangling one another, no, that doesn't work. You're locked in a loop and you're not going anywhere. And it's painful. So what do we do about these things? I've already said talk therapy is not the answer, and going on and on and on about, was this person a narcissist and yada, yada, yada. That's not the answer. Blowing up at them isn't the answer. Even if you stay calm and don't raise your voice, even if you don't call them names, even if all you do is point out the truth of the situation, you're not making it any better. Because as I said, you cannot affect change on someone who's in a different level of conscious awareness. They're sovereign of themselves. They're choosing their own story, just like you're choosing yours. And they're not recognizing yet. They're not being real yet. They're not feeling, dealing, and healing or progressing from whatever trauma, drama, blame, shame, woulda, coulda, shoulda, or societal programming or ancestral DNA imprinting caused them to disconnect from their own energy and develop this pattern of using other people for theirs. So what do we do? How do we write a story that flows, relationships that flow, instead of relationships that are power struggles? Well, first of all, we have to make sure that our own chakra system is healthy. We have to be connected to self. And then, as we're going on in our lives, because the world doesn't stop turning, as we come across our own trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas, we're real about them. We feel what we feel. We deal with it. We progress from it. Now, how do we do that? Forgive everything. What? Even what that narcissist did to me? Haven't you seen this stuff on YouTube? Don't you know how traumatized I am? Yes, I do. I've been there. Well, don't you know about the abuse I suffered as a child? Yes, I do. We forgive everything. Everything ever done is because of a lower level of conscious awareness. Everything. And we're all capable of doing things in lower levels of conscious awareness. We all want to be forgiven for them. That's the quantum leap. Forgive it all, including yourself for staying in the loop. Give their energy back to them, and no, don't do it sending it back 10 times what they sent to me. No, give it back as high vibrational as they can accept it, and take your energy back for your higher self to then take and pull up to the highest vibrational frequency possible so you can go forward on your timeline with it. You mean we're actually going to step out of this relationship? Very good chance. You see, it's a myth that one person can be miserable in a relationship and the other person's actually happy. One person can be in flow state and the other person not. Energy doesn't work that way. So if you're not happy, they're not happy. If they're not happy, you're not happy. And you may be in denial about it. You may be trying to live up to societal programming or the middle densities pushing their agendas through, telling you, oh yeah, this is what we want, this, that, but within you, you know what feels good and what doesn't, and so do they. And this power struggle stuff wouldn't be going on if you were in a flow state. So yes, I'm talking about stepping out of the relationship. Once you free up that energetic bandwidth, then they can be in flow with whoever they really resonate with, and whoever you really resonate with authentically can step in and be in your life. You both can find happiness then. Or perhaps it triggers personal growth for both of you, and you all circle back around, and perhaps the relationship can be restored. Only you, your higher self, knows that. And you have to go by your own guidance. Now, how do we do this? How do we reconnect to ourselves? Be real, feel, deal, heal, progress. Pull out of this loop. Give them their energy back. Take our energy back. Go forward on our timeline. I use meditation for all of this. Now, meditation does not have to mean you're sitting down with your eyes closed. Meditation could be walking. Meditation could be dancing. Meditation is anything that helps you reconnect to yourself. Anything that helps you connect to your higher self and get the transmission of how do we want to feel? Because we're energy in motion, emotional beings that wants to slow our molecules down into physicality for expression. What is it we're wanting to feel? We want to connect with that. And if it doesn't feel good, you're not connecting with your higher self, because your higher self only wants good for you. Always. And if it feels good, don't question it, unless it wouldn't feel good coming back at you. Now, sometimes we can want things that if we looked in the mirror would be like, it'd feel good if I did it, but if somebody did it to me, it wouldn't feel good. Now, that's a middle density. That's pushing their agenda. We don't want those. We want the highest vibrational frequency. Whatever we put out, cause and effect, it's going to come back. So whatever you put out should feel good coming back. That's how you know that you've got the highest frequency. Okay. What do I want to be? Being is when we're actually in frequency. I want to feel a certain way, and then I want to be that. I'm going to let that frequency come down and emanate out. I'm going to be that. And I'm going to have this experience. And then I'm going to give my higher self. We're going to have this talk within ourselves. But what was that really like? In theory, up here, the way we thought it would feel. And then how did it really feel in density with everyone else? And then how do we improve that? And that's the expansion of consciousness. And that's going to be different than what you've done before and what the thinking mind thinks. And the thinking mind is going to be, oh no, we tried that once, that didn't work. Well, we tried that once, but we weren't in the same level of consciousness then. The world wasn't the same then. Things weren't the same then. We're going to try it differently this time. Different? Well, we don't like different. Yes, we do. Because if we keep doing what we've always done, we're only going to have what we have now. And we'll never have anything that's different. There you go, that different word again. Right. Because life is about expansion and growth, not doing the same thing over and over. Well, I am kind of bored with that. I have been saying that I'd like for life to be more exciting, but I'm not sure that this excitement thing that you've got in mind is, shh, shh. Are you protecting me for something? Is there a bus coming I'm about to walk out in front of? No, I don't see any buses. Okay, then let's let the heart guide us. We're going to bring in the white light. The white light is us. We're going to let our chakra systems be healed, be attuned, be aligned. We're going to move all the trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas out of the way. Forgive it all. It's a basic meditation. This is managing your energy every day. And sometimes trauma, drama, blame, shame, woulda, coulda, shouldas will be triggered that you thought were already healed. Well, it'll be at a deeper level. So no, you haven't digressed. You're progressing. You've been triggered at a deeper level. So you peel that level off and let your power come down through you and be expressed. And your physical health stays, your emotional health stays, your mental health stays, your spiritual health stays, your financial health stays, your abundance, your prosperity. Your life is longer because of all of it. Because our power comes from this direction, from the white light that is us, because we are energy, and the whole complete light being. And that's how we write stories that are not power struggles, but are in flow. We let our frequency come down and be expressed through us, and we hold it. And we don't do this to each other and pull each other out of frequency. We don't try to hold on to a relationship that's not in frequency. And we don't pull ourselves out of frequency with our own behavior in response to what's going on in those relationships. We step out of the loop. See, we're not responsible for anyone else's behavior, only our own. Defining what someone else is doing. That's just the mind's way of delaying all of this expansion of consciousness and keeping us in the loop. It's a way of being controlled again. That is density controlling you and keeping you from being high vibrational. We can talk something to death, or we can deal with the energy of it and let it go. In the end, it's all energy that we've entangled quantumly. We choose to let it go, whatever the situation, and re-entangle it in a higher vibrational situation, moving forward with a better life. And we choose to feel better, to be higher vibrational, to have a different experience. And it doesn't matter who did what. Doesn't matter. The longer we stay stuck in all of that, the longer we prolong the hurt and the pain, and the less time we have for expanding consciousness, the longer we keep ourselves unhealthy and out of the frequencies that bring us health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, and longevity of life. This is what we need to understand. This is energy management. And it is always the same. We are energetic beings. Our fuel comes from being connected to our highest self and letting our highest self send down the frequency for what is our highest timeline at any given moment. And it's not hard. What feels good? If it feels good, it's an option. Try it. If it doesn't feel good, within yourself, have that conversation. This didn't feel as good as we thought it would. Try another one. That's the expansion of consciousness. It's like trying a recipe in a kitchen. Thought that little dash would help. Wrong little dash. Let's try this now. Let's unquantumly entangle that, and let's do this. Remember, you don't get to act on other people's energy, only your own. And quantum entanglement does involve other people. Those parts of our lives take longer because they have to agree or not agree. Their behavior when they get with us, they may stay in flow, they may not. We don't control those things. If it's not in flow, we let it go. We open up that energetic bandwidth in our lives for what is, because that's going to feel good. And we let them have their energetic bandwidth open for what's going to feel good to them. And we do it all staying in 5D or above, love or above, without getting into the density that we've been in. When we can stay in love or above, we can have healthy relationships and do this in a healthy way. All right? So let's close our eyes. Let's get this healthy chakra system going. Let's do some being real field dealing healing. All right? Let's release. And let's figure out what we want to be, feel, and experience. And let's move forward and turn loose of limiting beliefs and power struggles. Let's write ourselves beautiful stories, beautiful relationships that are in flow. Okay? Drop into the heart space where the white light is. The white light is you. As you breathe in and out slowly, you're slowing down the physical body and also the energetic body as you bring in the white light, connecting to yourself. And as you do so, the violet light and the blue light, unconditional love, and the violet light, which transmutes everything back to unconditional love if it is lower vibrational. These are quantum energies. They move faster than white light. They transmute everything back to love. They come in as well. And anything that's attached itself to you, anything that is within you, any lower vibrational energies you have, they all start coming up into frequency, into love or above, to your frequency. And here, we forgive everything. Any trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas that we have going on in our lives, whether we're aware of them or not aware of them, it doesn't matter how they happened, whether we were a part of it, whether we're oblivious of it, whether it was this lifetime or another, across all time, space, universes. lifetimes, dimensions, and incarnations, past, present, and future. We give everyone's energy back to them. As high vibrationals, they'll take it, and we pull our energy back to be brought up into frequency now. Maybe you need to understand what some of that is about. Maybe you don't. If you need to know, your higher self will tell you. However you communicate with your higher self, maybe you free journal later. Maybe you are clairaudient or clairvoyant in some other way, and it'll be communicated to you. Or maybe you don't need to know. Maybe you just need to be willing to just trust and let go. But if there is something specific that you know of, be real about it now. Allow yourself to feel it. Deal with it. Yep, that happened. It hurt. But I'm letting it go. Because I don't want to stay in that loop. I've been there, I've done that. And that's their level of conscious awareness, not mine. I'm ready to expand mine. So I'm returning their energy, higher vibrational than I got it, as high as they can accept it. I'm taking mine back, and I'm letting it go. Forgiving everyone involved, everything involved. Doesn't mean I let it all back in my energetic bandwidth. Forgiveness, letting go, doesn't mean you let these things back in your energetic bandwidth. It means you're going on without this keeping you stuck, without this being in your chakra system, preventing your energy from coming from you. So let it go. Just let it go. Now protected, surrounded by the white light, the blue light, and the violet flame, our two natures of energy are balanced, allowing and doing. And our highest self opens up our chakra system to clear out the quantum entanglements that aren't serving us, to return those energies to where they belong, to bring our energies up into frequency, to align every chakra with the exact color of white light, exact hue of the white light that matches each chakra, to cleanse, balance, center, rotate, calibrate every chakra, attune and align for our best and highest good, without illusion and delusion, but to go forward in the highest frequency possible, making our chakra system work perfectly for us so we get the messages, so we understand, so that the highest vibrational frequency of us can be refracted out, can feel, be, and experience an amazing story, the story of us. As we allow that to happen, you may feel energy being moved around, you may not feel it. Whatever you feel is perfectly fine. Just allow. As the white light comes in now, into the chakra system, down through the energy column, chakra system is expanding quantumly, opening up in every direction. As your higher self uses the quantum lights to heal it, to repair it, to put it in perfect order, perfect frequency for you, across all time, space, universes, lifetimes, dimensions, and incarnations, past, present, and future. We let go of our own trauma, drama, blame, shames, woulda, coulda, shouldas, our own ways that we've taking energy from people. We let go of those as well. We let go of being reactionary. We simply step out of the loops and allow everyone, ourselves included, to simply be in frequency and be in flow, to step out of the limited beliefs, to stop doing things the same way over and over, but to allow the highest vibrational frequency of us to come down and expand consciousness, to have new, beautiful stories, not the same old thing, not the same old patterns, but to feel empowered as the fuel, the energy that powers us comes down the highest frequency possible, so we have health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, and longevity of life. We feel ourselves connected all the way up. We feel the violet light, the blue light, the white light, all the hues of light. We feel the chakra system being fortified, aligned, calibrated, attuned. In every way, our energy is clear. We are back to oneness within ourselves. There's no middle densities. We've loved them all into oneness. We're in oneness with pure source energy. We have the golden light of wisdom coming down, the yellow sunshine coming down, bliss, joy, happiness. We have the white light, purity of heart, so that everything that we get from other energies that are helping us is pure and for our best and highest good. We have the violet light at the crown chakra, so that everything we get from the collective, from the Akasha, is for our best and highest good, and only for our best and highest good. We have the blue indigo light that makes sure that our third eye is always in the frequency of love and above, for our best and highest good. Our past life chakra is aligned and attuned and cleansed and cleared. Our throat chakra is quantumly charged and cleared and calibrated and aligned. Our high heart chakra is activated, aquamarine, bridging it to the heart chakra, so that the transmission we get into the green light, the heart chakra, and the pink light, there comes the light, so that we understand it in fifth dimensional terms, love and above. And then we have the solar plexus, that yellow golden light that comes in from Helios, our confidence, our power, our fuel, which is just like the sun, the joy, the love, the bliss, the happiness. Those are our fuel. It's the same. And then we have the orange and the peach and the sacral chakra that inspires us and motivates us and lights us up and gives us creativity and inspiration and motivation. And then we have the red of the root chakra that says, you better believe we are here. We are here, and this is our right. We're all entitled as light beings. Each one of us, this is how we are to understand, and we are to know, and we are to have this. We are to be in frequency, because each of us is here to be in frequency, because when each of us reverberates out in frequency, we are part of the symphony of the cosmos. The red is the fire to motivate us, to inspire us of the necessity of this, the necessity of being in frequency for the harmony of everyone else, of the entire symphony of the cosmos. And then the Earth Star Chakra, which contains the crystalline grid, where we refract out this beautiful frequency that is us. And we feel how expansive we are. We see ourselves growing bigger and bigger and bigger, beautiful white light, filling the space that we're in. completely in frequency, no density of any kind. Filling the entire dwelling that we're in, reaching beyond the dwelling, reaching out into the whole community, the light that is us now. Fills the entire county, the entire state, the entire country. Now our light surrounds the entire world. As we help bring everything up into frequency. You may experience some ascension, you may not. It's all right either way. You may feel more calibration or attunement of your chakra system, fortification of your chakra system. As we surrender to pure source energy, our pure source energy, our highest light being, the light being that we are, our highest frequency, being expressed through us, one whole complete light being. We're the expression part. We get to live it out. And now ask yourself, let's go ahead for a week. How do you want to feel a week from now? What do you want your life to be? How do you want to be treated? Start maybe with your job or maybe with your intimate relationship. Do them one at a time. Maybe your friendships. Maybe you want to do your relationship with yourself right now. Or we were talking about difficult relationships here. Maybe you want to focus on a particular one. A week from now, what do you want that to look like? How do you want to feel? Respected? How are you spoken to when you're respected? Feel that. Say those words to yourself. You want to be told you're loved. You want to be told how well you do things. You want to know that it's meant, that it's not fake. That's sincere. What else? What else do you want to feel a week from now? Desired, maybe? Truly desired? You don't want to have to chase somebody down to spend time with you. You want to laugh with someone? Maybe dance with someone. Go someplace with someone. Share a sunrise or a sunset or both. Have a meal with someone. What is it you want to do? And remember, if this someone is already in your life, then you can be specific. But if they're not, then just be open to whoever source energy is going to bring you. Your highest self is going to bring you. But even if someone is in your life, we don't act upon their energy. Perhaps you're going to be shown that this isn't in flow and you have to let it go. Be open to whatever your guidance is and know that all change is for your best and highest good. Change is not a bad thing. Energy is always moving. Change is inevitable. Making sure that change is in frequency and that you're expanding your consciousness. That's being real, feeling, dealing, healing, progressing. That's pulling your energy forward for your timeline. That's working as one whole complete light being synergistic with the whole. It's writing your story to be in flow, not in a battle of wills with anyone. No power struggles. What are you being? Just yourself. What does that mean to you? Are you dressed up? Are you super casual? Are you dancing around your kitchen? Are you all laid back on the sofa? Are you curled up in the bed? Are you out taking walks together? What are you doing? What does being you mean? You decide. Are you dressed up? Are you dressed down? Are you dressed at all? What does it mean? What is being you? Because you want to be yourself. And if you can't be yourself, if you're not wanted for yourself, then you're not in flow. Gotta let it go. And that's all right. Doesn't make them bad, you bad. Just means you're not in frequency. And that's okay. Light and love. Be in flow. What do you want a week from now? What do you want to be experiencing? Do you want to go to the movies, or do you want to do a project together, or do you just want to look in each other's eyes? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? You want to go someplace you've never been? Spend time with people that maybe you want to introduce them to your family or something. What do you want to do? Maybe you want to go back to that place where you met. Maybe you want to go to a place that you've been talking about going to. Maybe you just want to stay home. What is it you want to do? What do you want to experience? What do you want to express? Maybe you want to create something together. What do you want to do? Okay, let's back it up now. Come this way. 3 days from now, what do you want to feel? What do you want to be? What do you want to experience? Yeah, let the light come in. Let yourself pour into your heart space. Feel yourself pouring out of your heart space. Just let it all flow. You can do these meditations over and over and over. Put this frequency out as much as you want to. The more you put it out, the more the universe gets the signal, and the faster it all comes in, and the stronger it comes in, and the more accurately it comes in. And it's kind of like tuning in to XM radio versus an FM or an AM station. Put out the signal that is you. And don't settle for anything that doesn't flow with you. If it's not in flow, you gotta let it go. Because it's for their best and highest good too. And for everyone else's. Any state that's not a flow state is not reverberating out harmoniously. It's not putting out a harmonious ripple effect for the cosmos. So we're meant to be in flow state. We are not meant to be in relationships that are not in flow. We do all of this for the best and highest good, not just of ourselves, but of everyone and everything, from the micro to the macro. We are meant to be happy. Anyone who tells you that this is Earth University and it's meant to be hard, etc., no, it's not. It is meant to be beautiful. It is meant to reverberate out harmoniously. It is meant to be order, not chaos. We are meant to have an intact, activated chakra system where we get the message clearly. We are meant to live beautiful, abundant lives. For it to be any other way is chaotic, and it's not meant to be chaos. Energy that is chaotic goes boom or implodes. The universe does not want to do that. It definitely wants to be in order. Flow. Okay, a day from now, what do you want to feel, be, and experience in this relationship? Same thing. And then half a day, a few hours, an hour from now, there's going to be extended music, extended channeling of energy. Do this as often as you like. Keep your energy management going. Keep your chakra system attuned. Keep yourself in frequency. Know that you are love. You are loved. And everyone is meant to be loved. because everyone is love. Do this dancing if you want, so the endorphins are flowing. Do this walking, do this in nature. Listen to this anytime. Do it knowing that you are love. You are quantum.